Hey, what's up? Back again.
That first bass note hit me in the chest, and I was just like, there's no way that's 2.8.
MB Enclosures has his own YouTube channel, and this guy is an animal when it comes to designing boxes.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy MB, man. So, we did the test. Two woofers that got 7 3/8 cutouts. 7 1/4 if you ask me. Head-to-head battle. A king against a woofer whose bigger brother is a king. And to see the results. Let's quantify them. The G5 actually on the sweep did, 29 hertz. And the X8 did a 30. As far as output on the same song, musical output on the same song, both of them pulled 35 hertz out of that song. Now, just because you have a box tuned to a certain frequency, if the song is not playing that frequency, it's not going to necessarily pull that tone out being the loudest. If you watch both videos, you will see there were at times 130 at 32 hertz, 130 at 33 hertz, but the overall frequency of the resonation of that song was 35 hertz, and both of them pulled it out. But the Sundown did a 131.4, and the G5 did a 131.36, and 131.42, a difference of 0.06 in output. Anyone that meters will tell you you can't hear, you can't hear a dB difference. Some people can hear 1.5, 2 dB difference, but roughly puts them in the same category. They are roughly the same price. I believe you buy these. I think some people selling these for like $275. I know they're $299, and this is $330. The myth that size of the booty is dictating power, that I hope I dispelled that. I really hope I dispelled that. The strength in the gap is what really matters. The cooling of the G5 probably enabled him to, let's look at the musical average on the score. I think the musical average on the score was about the same. I don't know. Y'all look at the musical, that's the last number at the bottom. Who actually was overall loudest or throughout the course of a song. That's a factor too, but if it's not 3 dB louder, you can't use that as a quantification either. So they roughly did the same thing, which is pretty much what I said. If you're going to use that 7 1/4 inch cutout, don't be thinking too much when people put very large motors on the back of it and think, oh man, this is going to get louder than that because of the actual size of the driver, instead of actually looking at the parameters and the performance. They both have adequate venting. In fact, the pole piece is big on the G5, which probably enabled him to play maybe a little bit loud, a little bit longer at that same output because his cooling is better, especially with these vents that he has at his at the top of his top plate in the basket. You guys went and buy this and said this is going to beat that, and I actually dispelled that. I hope I dispelled that. But, you know, everybody's his own. Everybody going to have their own opinion. We're going to see what else in the 7 1/4 inch cutout arena below my two favorite, Godzilla and King Kong. And see, you know, how everybody fare. In actuality, the X8v4 did pretty much the same score that the V3 did, because I think the V3 earlier, last year I meted that, or earlier this year, did a 131 as well. So roughly the same performance as the original King. You just have a taller basket. I don't think the SA8 is going to be more geared toward the lows, but I think this is a fair test. I really think this is a fair test when going cone area against cone area. He actually had more cone area than the V4. You would have to get the V3 to have more cone area than G5. But the G5 came out at the same time as the version 3 X8. And it's still a contender today. You know, still a contender today. Some of y'all might argue and say, well, man, maybe the G5 didn't be a king. I don't know. I don't think he's going to be able to attain a 140. Possibly he will. Remember, I honorary gave the X8v4 a king title, even though I didn't actually meter them in a 3Q, which is a 1.5 box, to see if they could do a 140. I just did that on the strength that I've been running them for a long time, and you know all of y'all like them. But as I've got into this foray of actually this genre of actually researching and buying different woofers and testing them against each other, I found out that 73's cutout, they're pretty much going to be very, very close to each other in output. I just fact, not fiction, not sensationalism, and definitely like that mess you see prominent on some of these social media forums. Get at me if you like, if you like what's going on here. If you want an enclosure, the number is 404-694-4818. And as always, please listen responsibly.